Bonjour à tous and welcome back. We're stepping into the new year as a family of 4 and life still feels a little chaotic as we find our new routines. It's also a moment where we pause, look ahead and think about what needs to change to better support the new projects we're working toward, whether it's in our daily rhythm or in the way we work. While we're waiting on quotes for the next major phase in the barn renovation, specifically the wood needed to repair the roof, it gives us some space to focus on things that quietly make a big difference behind the scenes of the channel. Because not everything that moves a renovation forward happens with an excavator or a hammer in hand. So we turn our attention inside to the workspace where all the pieces of our videos come together. With the new year starting, we felt it was a good moment to upgrade something that plays a huge role behind the scenes of this channel, the computer. It's one of the main tools that allows us to turn all the work done out there into the videos you watch here each week. Building a new computer is an important step for us because it'll let us edit faster and more efficiently, which in turn gives us more time for everything else that needs to be done here. We film in 4K with our Canon R6 Mark II camera, which means the video files are quite large and demanding, so having a strong system really makes a difference. Later this week we'll also be upgrading our network, which will allow me to edit directly from our network attached storage where all our footage is kept. That means no more constantly moving files from one hard drive to another and a much smoother workflow overall.
I didn't film it, but I made a big mess. Took away the old computer, took everything out that I still need to clean, and these things have to go in the new one. So, but I don't want to have too much downtime. So what I did is I bought a new cooler, simpler cooler, to put into the old one, so we can use the old one while I put all this stuff in the new one. Just making a big mess at the moment, but that's how we have the least of downtime. So it's a little bit more involved than just buying a MacBook. This is the old one, naked now, with everything out of it. So let's put a new cooler in it so we can at least by tonight hopefully start this one up again. This one is working again, so now we can put all the stuff from on the floor, clean it up and put it in the new computer. So that way we don't lose any time. I was able to do this yesterday in a couple of hours. So for now it's easy for Anicia to keep working, and then I have a little bit of time to get the other one working again. And then see if all our data is still secure, and then I can delete this one.
Philippe being a plumber, of course there had to be tubing and radiators involved in our new computer build. But this is actually a water cooling system. It draws heat away from the main components, keeps temperatures stable, improves performance, and helps the computer run much more quietly. This whole setup has been quite the investment, but one we truly believe will pay off in the long run. Instead of going for small, in-between solutions that would also cost money over time, we decided to do it professionally from the start and build something that will really support our work going forward.
Ma, ik doe jij rollen. helpen?
Nee.
Nee?
Nee.
Oké. Ik moet oude buren dus.
Ik heb de eet en de hebben gedaan.
Ja.
Ja.
Misschien, Odin, misschien wil de eend wel nog een vriendje. Want de eend is nu helemaal alleen.
Ja.
Ga jij hem een vriendje maken?
Ja.
Plus vite!
Plus vite.
C'est pas bon? Oh là là, ouais, bah en vrai, impossible sans le 4x4. Impossible.
C'est pour ça que
Ouais.
tu fais pas. Tu fais
Goed zo. Goed
Goed
zo.
zo.
Heel goed.
Heel goed gedaan.
Goed gedaan. Merde. Là, il y a quelqu'un derrière. Oula. Non, 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 attends, attends, attends. C'est bien.
J'aime pas être devant. Ça saute le premier fois.
Non, j'ai surtout regardé qu'en fait elle était pas dans l'axe. Ça aurait été vu que ça tapait deux roues.
Ouais, mais c'est mieux, c'est mieux.
Ouais,
C'est juste là. C'est toujours comme ça. Non, mais c'est pas une blague. Quand je roule avec ça, et dans une baie,
Success.
je freine et je.
j'ai dit quand il me rappelle, moi.
So, a new toy or a new tool, let's put it this way. How did it get here? Is somebody that watches our videos, that doesn't live that far from us, saw that we were doing the renovations and everything, and they have a neighbor who owns or owned this machine, but her partner or her husband died, so it wasn't used anymore, so it was just standing still for 2 years now. So they decided to give it to me for free, which I'm very happy with. I haven't done much to it yet, and I haven't filmed what I've done to it because I didn't want to bore you too much with the mechanic videos. But it is a full electric machine, so what I did is I connected all the batteries, put mains power on it, put it on, the charger works, and then after a while I started testing out the functions, and most of them work. So I had a look with Claude, he came up as well, so I think I will be renewing it. I just go for it, because if I can get this fully operational, this will help me loads. Pointing, doing stuff on the roof, inside the barn, everything that I have to do there. Even in the future, you want to do some yard work on a tree or something. This goes 12 meters up in the sky, so it's pretty high. Look. So that's another good thing. Most of the parts are still there, so it's a big difference of the old dumper that I redid, that I still have to finish. Because we're still having trouble with the starter motor, so we redid the motor and now the starter motor is still bugging me. But the problem with the old dumper is once we started redoing the engine and everything, then I noticed that a lot of stuff they did was not original anymore, and that makes stuff a lot more difficult. So on this machine, first impressions, like I said before I do anything, is at the moment it looks like it hasn't been really tampered with. There's stuff broken and needs fixing, but at least it hasn't been really tampered with or modified. Because once stuff is modified and you redo it, it's whoa. Voilà. Voilà. So you can see it works. It's very slow because the batteries are almost dead.
Niet. Oh, die is niet aan mijn voet. Oh, oh nee. En die wielen vast. Daar. Papa. Papa. Kom, papa.
Yeah. No, these batteries will be dead.
Okay, beep.
Beep.
Papa gaat die vast aan, doe hij daarop. Daarop, ja.
Okay.
Okay, beep. Okay, beep.
Voilà.
Okay, beep.
This machine runs on the batteries, so the 240 volts you put in is just to charge the batteries, and then you run on the batteries. So it's not because it's plugged in that you can run it. Ik ga het nou weer ontploffen.
Waarom zou dit van aan die mons was?
Nee.
Oké.
Wat was dat? Waarom vonkte? Okay, so I got it working again after some fiddling. I got it working on one 12-volt battery. Either I wired it wrong to the 25 volt or it's a 12 volt system. But I'm gonna draw it out because there's a lot of different cables that have been changed. Some are not the correct color code anymore, so it becomes a mess. And I couldn't really concentrate, so now I'm gonna draw it out so I'm 100% sure, so I don't blow anything up.
Papa, ik kom brandweerauto optekenen. Papa, dat is moeilijk, een brandweerauto.
Is dat moeilijk?
Ja, een brandweerauto ook moeilijk.
Dat zijn de gyrovaar.
Een ladder.
Een ladder staat er ook op. Kijk, is plat de ladder. Dan kan die omhoog.
Voilà. Nu, mag papa nu een beetje werken?
Ja.
Ja! I called Jean, my brother, to have a little chat about it because my brain is not working at the moment. So what I'm gonna do now is I have one 12-volt battery here connected to this bank or to the cables anyways. Connect the other 12-volt battery that I have with battery cables to that bank, and then we'll see if the motor is more up to the task, because now it is running, but it's running very slow because that bank is done. And the only reason I want to turn it is because this block is in the way to get the batteries out.
Nog batterijen. Nog batterijen.
I have a 12-volt charger, I don't have a 6-volt charger, but I'm just gonna connect them together and put them on my charger and see what it does. Because I don't think they're that old, and the lady that gave me it, Michelle, she told me the batteries aren't that old. The only thing is, yeah, if they were not charged for 2 years, for a lead acid battery, that's not that good, so, but we'll see. Six, so that's already a better sign than the 2 volts I was reading in the beginning of this side. That's probably the reason why the charger inside the machine wouldn't charge it, because mine wouldn't either. So I had to, like I said, get a cheap charger. Sometimes you can revive. I'm not gonna call it revive because it doesn't help the batteries, but you can bring them back to life a little bit, so you can at least charge them up again. But there's a big chance that this side at least will be dead. So that's 13 volts, so that's a good sign. Means they are charged. That doesn't mean they'll take a current or that they'll work, but it's better than reading 0. Hoppa. Next one. Okay, good. No sparks, which is good. It lifts, but it's very slow. You can see that's what I found. It used to be yellow. So they refurbished it at some point, or at least painted it. I'm gonna clean these batteries now a little bit more and then put the batteries back in, connect them and see what it does. And then see if the charger that's inside wants to charge both banks, and then just leave it plugged in and see if it does any better. Okay, let's give it a go. Fighter jets are having fun, more fun than me at least. So we have the plus from that bank coming in. Yep. Connects. Okay. It is charging. Let's leave it at that for now. Get this cover off. So much nicer to work in here now. You see there's almost no more sand or dirt, and especially if you need to work on the hydraulics. And I'm quite amazed there's almost no rust, so that's a good thing as well. But anyways, one drive motor is still there. The other one, they took it out and it's not here at the moment, so that's the only thing that's bothering me a little bit. And it's also there that it's leaking every time I use any of the functions. It starts leaking hydraulic oil, so I want to take it off and cap it over here, because now what they did is they connected the two pipes together, and I don't think that's a great idea on hydraulics. So like I said, what I want to try to do is disconnect it here, take it out and see if I can plug it here for now, and then maybe I can drive just on the other drive motor on the other wheel. So what I wanted to show you here is, this is the square axle tube, but should be empty. And normally there is a motor connected on here with those 4 bolts. So the motor was probably defective. They didn't find another one, I don't know. But let's try to take it off. What they did here, connect it all up and see what the machine does. Okay, so this was the contraption that was on. Voila, this is on, and then the other one needs to go in there again. Okay, that's good. No more leaks. This is now leak-free as well, so let's try that. It's moving. Voila. Very good. Very, very, very good. That's exactly what we want. So I have a working machine. So the charger is working, pump is working, the electric motor is working, pump is working. It is driving now, which is amazing as well. It's very slow, but I think that's the batteries. I think the batteries are shot, so I'm gonna look if I can maybe put lithium batteries in instead of these lead acid batteries. Then I need another charger too, because the charger in it is a lead acid battery charger. But it looks like most functions are working, so I do have to replace all the hoses because I'm not gonna use the original hoses. They're frayed and they're done. I don't want to be up and with hoses bursting. So I'm gonna look at a price quote for that, but I think we're gonna go ahead and fix this machine, because this will be very handy and the base is there. Very happy with it. Just quickly, does need to be pretty for now. It's like twist. I put it like this and give it a good swing here. Okay. Like that. Yeah? Ja. Ja, omhoog. Voilà. Hup, nu kan je het zelf, hè. Voilà. Hoppa. Ja, maar joh. Ja. Ja.
Doe je allemaal zo.
Ja, zo?
Niet gelukt.
Niet leuk.
Niet gelukt.
Niet leuk.
Niet gelukt.
Niet leuk. Gonna do all these little tasks that need to be done, and one task that is urgent is to put this fiber cable in from the new barn to the house. It's to enable Anicia hopefully to lose a little bit less time when transferring files for the videos from the server to the computer. Okay. So I had to distract Odin a little bit to get him to do another task, because this fiber cable is quite fragile, and if I unroll it here on the driveway and he steps a few times over it, it could be that I don't have a connection inside anymore, so let's try to avoid that. These are the things that I don't like. For anyone who's wondering, this cable is not outdoor rated, by the way. I looked at an outdoor rated fiber cable, but it's way too expensive. And like I said, you can't terminate the ends yourself. Well, you can if you have a very expensive machine. So the choice was made, because especially since we have to do all the renovations here, to get a cheaper indoor rated fiber cable. If I break it, at least I won't break the bank, let's put it this way. Careful, Philippe. That's the thing, I have to go through so many buildings and little crevasses. So it's easy to damage it. Whoops, don't touch too much. A lot of back and forth between the old barn, the new barn, old barn, and the attic. But I'm almost at the computer, so that's good. Okay. Now I gotta be careful because I've made it this far and I've tested it upstairs and it's working, so we must be careful, Mr. Philippe. I'm hoping this is the last cable I put in there because it's temporary. Once that barn, I'm gonna be so happy once that barn is done, because then we can actually stop doing temporary and start doing permanent. Put this one through. Up. Okay. So for the ones that don't know or are new, this is where the off-grid system is and where the server is and where my internet stuff is, or most of it. So batteries, solar panels, everything is below here. And this will have to be moved towards the old barn once that's ready, and that's where I wanted the permanent place. Next is all these hydraulic lines. I want to tag them where they go, tag the line and tag the fitting with little cable ties, colored cable ties, so I know perfectly which goes to where, and then I can take them off and bring it all as one big bundle to the shop, and then I can refit it. Doe maar. Voilà. Ah.
Ja, willen. Het. Van bed.
The reason I'm changing them all is because they're really done. They're very brittle. The outer layer is coming off.
Ja,
And this is something important if you're going to be working at heights of 12 meters. This machine could do 12 meters. There are still securities. There's a valve in there. If something breaks, you won't go down, but you're also stuck. So I want to avoid that. I just want to get it right and not have to think about it for the rest of my life and your life maybe.
Papa.
Yeah. Okay. You see how mangled it is? Normally it needs to be straight, so these lines have a little bit of room and not be squashed against this. Ja? Wat zeg je? Ja, echt leuk. Wil je eruit? Je hebt daar een kleine ladder. Zie je hem? Zie je hem niet? This part is done. Most of the hydraulic lines or pipes I have found and I marked them in the beginning and at the end. So now I'm gonna look at this one, try to get all these ones marked, so that's a big task already done. So it would be nice if I could finish it today. Odin is asleep, so I have an hour to do this without too much interference. Yeah. Okay, here we go. What I'm doing now, that's the only function that didn't work, well, only in one way. So you have your basket, which is level. You have a little cylinder, which you can do this with your basket. But that cylinder is also connected with this cylinder here, and I think that's when you're rising up, going up, and it keeps your basket level automatically. And there something is not working. I don't know if this is possible, but this machine used to be yellow, but some have still yellow paint on them, so that would mean they're 30 years old. So I think they're due for a change then.